Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Caitlin Clark with the most epic troll I think I have ever seen. Did not know she had that kind of troll game. Maybe the best ever. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out, of course, to the 19. We are closer to 14,000 subscribers than we are to 13. Thank you so much for all that support. Smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. We are going to get rolling here. You got to see a couple of these clips. As you know, Natasha Howard has been an issue this season. She has been an issue this season in how much she seems to be playing for Natasha Howard, how much she does not care about Caitlin Clark or fitting into this team, how it is all about her and being MVP. We've seen the absolute insane anti-Clark, Caitlin nonsense posted by I don't know if they're her spouse or her girlfriend or whatever it is, and her sister as well, who clearly do not like Caitlin Clark, and it has been an ongoing issue. Now, last game, and maybe I would say even the second half of the Atlanta game, but definitely last game, it seemed like for whatever reason, whether there was a conversation or Natasha Howard saw Caitlin playing like Caitlin again as a teammate, and that opened her eyes a little differently. I do not know, but it definitely seemed like against the Wings that Natasha Howard was like, hey, you know what? This Caitlin Clark thing, even if I'm a selfish player, I'm going to get more for me by accepting what Caitlin Clark brings and benefiting from that. And we hope that continues. If that continues, I still have questions about the whole locker room thing. But if that continues on the court, that is a problem for the rest of the league. So here's a clip that people were talking about here because this is a clear snub from Natasha Howard to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark wants the ball inbounded to her. She wants to go up tempo, and it goes to Natasha Howard. You saw, right? Back it up a little bit. You see and I know some people will scream about this, but I get the competitive fire. The ball should go to Caitlin Clark. She wants the ball. She is your point guard. You're all WNBA first team point guard. Give her the basketball, but Natasha Howard ignores her, goes away from her, doesn't even look at her, slows the game down entirely. So we know that was not a good thing. And we've got this later on in the game. And we've talked about this before, that in some ways, Natasha Howard reminds me a little bit of Angel Reese in that ball is in there and that's it. Natasha Howard, no matter what, 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-4, she is going up with that basketball. She's certainly not kicking it out for an open shot. So take a look at Caitlin Clark giving up the rock to Natasha Howard because she's that kind of player, steps back, looks at it, her hands kind of go up. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to tie my shoe because this play is over. Natasha Howard is going to go to the bucket and take a shot. Yes, folks, we saw what we saw. Caitlin still made the correct pass, but you always see it in her body language. There are the hands. She's like, yeah, I'm done. Gray doesn't know what she's like. Should I fix my hair? Is this some sort of fake? Is this like a Trojan horse? What is going on? But yes, so Caitlin Caitlin made her point right there. I think very loudly, very clearly that this nonsense with Natasha Howard has got to stop. Got to stop. And then we had the Dallas Wings game, and this is actually not um, Natasha Howard the benefit of this, but I think this is the type of thing that maybe Natasha is seeing that, hey, this could work out for me. Hopefully, I can show this all to you. I'm not sure if I can. You know how that goes, but well, you know what? I probably shouldn't, folks. I just realized this is straight from ESPN. Um, but let's see if we can get a look at the pass here. I think I have this. This should be able to do it. But this gives you this the slow mo. That's off one dribble. Look at that pass. Look at that pass. Absolutely perfect in stride to Sophie Cunningham. Look, you may not see this, but I'm going to play this. So I'm sorry if this is blurred out, but I am at least going to give you the chance of seeing it. What a lot of people don't get is we battle so hard to try and get the just short clips to show you something important. And YouTube with a lot of companies like an ESPN or something like that, it is set up that they know right when we upload it, it's in that and it automatically gets copyright claimed and we can't use it. So just real quick, the ball you see right away, the ball gets rebounded. Boom. Right away, it goes to Caitlin. Do we see how it goes to Caitlin right away? Right away. By the way, you can't see from this angle, but when this started, as soon as that happened, Sophie Cunningham was either even or behind Caitlin Clark, and she saw. She just said, "Yep, I'm going to sprint down the court. I'm going to beat everyone. Look at that, and boom, I'm going to catch that bucket." Again, I will show you the side angle now. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Apologies if you can't see it. But yeah, if we're looking at this, first of all, Caitlin Clark makes the block defensively, makes the block. Aaliyah Boston, see, Sophie Cunningham was behind Caitlin Clark in terms of guarding. She was near at the baseline. Aaliyah Boston, guess where this ball goes? Now you can see Kelsey Mitchell as well. Hopefully, you can. She's out on the left. She's already turned her head away. She's running up the court. She gets it. Natasha Howard looks like she's moving, but Sophie Cunningham, who was behind Caitlin Clark on this play, sees this. She's already running, folks. She's already going. Aaliyah Boston goes right to Caitlin Clark. I'm pausing this a lot, one, to help you and explain, but two, also, it's more likely you're actually going to get to see it. So now that ball goes to Caitlin. You've got Sophie's running down the court. She's ahead of her player. Kelsey Mitchell's already running down the court. Not quite ahead of her player, but she has the advantage based on body position. Natasha Howard right in front of Caitlin Clark, but she is already running down the court because they get it. And here, Sophie puts the hand up before she gets to midcourt. Caitlin Clark, head up, one dribble, and boom, and there it goes. And look where that passes. One, two, three. The entire Dallas Wings get beat by Sophie Cunningham on that play, which is a great catch and a lay-in, by the way, should never happen. And this right here for me, and this is why I'm emphasizing this too, and is so, so important. This is the key to the Indiana Fever. This is the biggest thing Stephanie White has tried to take away from this team, which I don't understand. Why? This changes everything in terms of what these teams can do. The Wings got all the way to the bucket. They had the layup blocked, but they got all the way to the bucket. It's almost like it's a made bucket. So then what happens? They couldn't possibly get back on defense in time to stop the Indiana Fever. One dribble. Aaliyah Boston gets the ball right away to Caitlin Clark. Head up. One dribble. Three-quarter court. Perfect pass that no one else in the league can make. And it's a layup. Do you understand the kind of pressure that puts on the other team? You are worried about playing defense while you're on offense if you know Caitlin Clark is going to be Caitlin Clark. And that changes everything about what the Indiana Fever can do. You don't get the opportunity to do that all the time, right? We see that Caitlin Clark's not getting 8 or 9 assists a game throwing the ball three-quarters of the court. But the fact that it can be done, the fact that other teams have to worry about it, if every time they give Caitlin Clark the ball, the rest of the team, even if they end up running something half court, if they move in transition quickly, if they get to the other end, they put that kind of pressure on the defense. It changes everything. It makes everything else about the game easier. It gets you mismatches with defenders in the half court because the teams are scrambling. They're scrambling to defend, so they're not necessarily matching up with the player they're supposed to guard because in transition they're taking the closest player. They've got to get everyone covered because they all know Caitlin Clark can make the pass from anywhere. From anywhere. One other thing I'm going to give you, this is just kind of a wild random thing I'll stick in here, but since we just saw that pass, Caitlin Clark becomes the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 points and 100 assists in a single season. Yes, in this season, with its fits and starts and setbacks and shooting slumps and slow-mo Stephanie White offense, Caitlin Clark has still become the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 points and 100 assists in a single season. Now, you saw why Natasha Howard maybe started running in the Dallas game. Maybe she saw the benefit of things like what just happened with Sophie Cunningham, because we all know it doesn't matter who it is. Caitlin Clark's going to make the pass. Look, we saw her put it into the post to Natasha Howard, even though she realized that in doing so, she ended the offensive possession for the Indiana Fever. So fingers crossed for me that the Indiana Fever, that Natasha Howard has figured it out, that Stephanie White has figured it out, and that we are going to see more of the 2024 post Olympic break Indiana Fever in terms of how they play. Because if we do, and Natasha Howard is on board with that, the locker room issues, if there's still some, that's another issue. But if on the court, if she's on board with that, and you've got them all on board with that, you've got Sophie Cunningham running, Kelsey Mitchell running, Natasha Howard running, Lexi Hull running. As far as centers go, Aaliyah Boston is up there in that category. She's very smart about it. Plus, she's also very good and very aware about being a trailer on those things. So if the bucket isn't immediate, she's coming down that lane free. It is a very, very dangerous team. And I will say it again, it is a team that could and should average 100 points per game. And that puts an incredible amount of pressure on every team they play, no matter how good they might be. Because if you know in the WNBA, if you know you've got to score 100 plus to win, that is a very, very difficult thing. I am going to leave it there. Thank you, as always, for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.